some of that happening.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think economies, especially the capitalist economies, have had to bend to some degree, I think, whereas there's of course also been this tendency of just consolidating the power into the big corporations and all of that, but there's definitely a movement against that too.
Mm-hmm.
And it has to be, because how do people cannot survive? All the small businesses, all the middle-sized businesses have taken so much of a hit, you know.
Absolutely, they've been bashed, absolutely.
And the people's discontent with all of this, if they're not getting supported by systemic flexibility, is just going to make itself known, you know. It's like what I was saying to one of the owners of the yoga studio here in Bern, you know, because in Switzerland they decided not to give people a break on rent.
Exactly.
So you are in a situation where you have to pay a high rent for months at a time without being able to work. And I said, you know, at some point, this is not sustainable. It's going to break somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's for everyone. It's for all the small businesses and stuff. And something has to, that's a really good point. And I truly hope it happens. Like, I truly hope we'll see a shift, you know? Like,
I hope so too, you
much
know.
Needed. And my very last question, because I could speak to you for 3 more hours, but I respect your time, and we'll see each other, like, hopefully.
You don't want to have so much material that you don't know where to cut.
In real life, we will see each other, and I'll come in and do something with those organic veggies that I'd love to come over to your house one day and just have an actual chat with you. But one thing that especially. The way I see you, you have all this incredible experience. You're such a senior teacher. You, like what you just said, how many teacher trainings you taught. Me personally, I mean, I've been around, like, I just celebrated my 8th year anniversary of teaching yoga. But I really have some severe doubts on online teacher training. Like, do you feel that, like, what is your vision or your opinion on like, is it a good thing? I mean, I know we have to do it now because of the pandemic, but I don't know. I'm just having troubles with, like, can people really become a teacher when they only get taught online?
Well, I was completely against it at first.
Mm-hmm.
But then what I heard, from several people who were at the teacher training in Italy this year, it seemed to be much more successful than expected. And I think the people who did commit themselves to doing this online were really committed. They had more time to complete the work. They still had a mentor who was working with them. And I think for assists and things like that, they had to use someone who was living with them or another yoga teacher. I'm not exactly sure how that was handled, but I know that they were working with a body there. I'm not exactly sure how they handled the situation with the test classes and all of that, but I think that because it's something that we need to envision at this point, we need to try to make it work. I know for some people, they were really happy that they could do it online, because there may be people who cannot leave their home for a month because of family or work or what have you. Now I think about my reality here, what my life looks like right now. I wouldn't want to do a teacher training online because I just couldn't manage all the things I have to do and teacher training. But I think that's a very individual matter. I have found out this year that I prefer to just be able to be on site somewhere and fully focus on what I have to do than having all this other stuff that I also need to get done,
Exactly.
But again, I think that's an individual
different for everyone. No, that's true. That's true. No, it's interesting. Like I was actually wondering how you feel about it, because we've definitely had our conversations about teacher trainings. Yeah, just sometimes I just feel like there's something. I understand the needs there. I understand that people also, and I mean, yeah, I think there is also something about you can do it in your own time. You can do it at your home. Like, I mean, there's also something. I'm sure that's also good. But I just wonder, like, yeah, I still have like my doubts about it. But the way you're talking about it, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it's
All I've
yeah.
heard from our faculty and people who were there, that it was very successful. It worked
Yeah,
really well,
yeah,
and I think there was so much demand for it that they did it a second time
yeah,
in January or something like that. So
yeah.
yeah, again, I don't know. I mean, I personally, after a year of doing everything on Zoom and also taking some courses on Zoom,
Yeah.
I've zoomed out. I've had it.
Yeah, I think so many people have that as well. I see it with students too who are just zoomed out. Like, I mean, I also think there has been a silver lining. Like, for example, like me being able to do a class with you or Rima or Stuart, who is pretty much my main teacher. He's in London. I mean, like, it's amazing that I can just open my computer up and here you are,
Exactly.
So there is, and I'm also currently doing a course, an Ayurvedic course, which is in the UK. And I don't know if I could have done that if it wasn't for, because everything is online now. So there's definitely also been a flip side to it also being very positive. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
I agree with you. There's a lot of students who tell me the same thing. Like
Yeah,
they're saying, "Oh wow, I always had to travel to come and see you," or
yeah,
I would go to their city for a long weekend, maybe 3-4 days.
yeah,
I would see them once a year. If
yeah,
they came to a retreat with me twice a year.
yeah,
And
yeah.
now they've been able to take class with
Now you
me,
see them every week. Yeah,
which
so
is sort of
special.
nice, but
Yeah,
I personally feel, because I did quite a number of courses on Zoom myself. I mean, taking them,
yeah, yeah,
and I just reached a point, maybe it was also because I got sick, but
yeah,
I just couldn't do it anymore. I was
yeah.
out of
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I think that's also, and then you just have to retreat again also. I mean, it's also important to get away from the computer sometimes. I think
Yeah,
it's also harder when you already are in front of the computer all day or doing work on the computer all day, and then also to do your yoga practice, to then again be on the computer can sometimes be just a bit
yeah.
too much computer for the day. Yeah.
And I don't, here I live in the countryside. I have a
Yeah.
garden, and I was just like, I should be enjoying my garden
Yeah.
and like my flowers and plants and not
Totally.
just always like in this
Yeah,
computer
yeah, 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 yeah. Totally. Totally.
reality.
Totally.
So
Yeah.
it depends. If
Yeah.
I were in New York in my little studio apartment, maybe I would be more drawn to.
Mm-hmm.
I would have more space and time to
Yeah.
do that. But at the same time, I'm just not that much of a screen person.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
a tech person. I don't
That's
like.
also a big difference for sure. Yeah, and you love your nature, and when you have that access to nature, so at your doorstep, then of course it's going to be the first option, if anything. And so when can we do your classes, you guys, for the moment? Like when are you teaching?
It's Monday evenings from 6:30 to 8 Central European Time.
Mm-hmm.
Thursdays from 6 to 7:30 Central European Time.
Okay, wonderful. I'll put all of this information in the notes. I'll also put all the information for the Azahar Foundation in the notes. And I really hope, I'll love to do a small fundraiser for you and see if we can make something happen. But I just hope that people will, check it out and support you. And I truly hope, that everything will, keep going as it is, but also that things can kind of, reestablish itself again also after this year or next year, that we have a little bit more, non-pandemic times, and that Azahar can have good vibes and good energy and lots of monies.
Yes, thank you so much.
you
That's
know
always needed,
yeah,
in an NGO, in a not-for-profit.
absolutely,
So,
absolutely. And
so
you do such great work. It's
any
such an
support
important.
you can give is very
Yeah,
well appreciated, and
yeah,
I'm sure Carol will put the information there for.
yeah.
Are you putting that in written or?
Yeah, just in a note. So when people are here, when they look at the show notes, everything will be in there. So all the links and, links to the Instagram, to the websites. And if you send me the video that you were mentioning, Rwanda, I'd love to share that also in there. And I'm just so grateful for your time. I mean, I fell in love with you in 2018 and I'll never fall out of love with you. That's for sure. I mean, we had such a special time, and like the honor of doing the yoga and veganism or vegetarianism lecture with you. I mean,
that was fun.
I still see us sit there together, and it was just so. I have so much respect for you, and I also love how you've been around for so long, but you treat me like an equal, and that's something that I've always really admired, because when we chat, I don't feel like I'm chatting with someone who's been teaching for all this time, and I have so much. I really, it's just an honor to be in your presence, even on Zoom, and I just love who you are and how you relate to others as well. So
it's an honor to be with you, Caro, and I really appreciate it also that I learned a lot from you in terms of all the animal rights questions and the cooking, and your commitment to social change from that angle really means a lot, so I appreciate that you're contributing that angle to the community, and really important. And thank you so much for having me on this podcast.
Absolutely. It's been so lovely to have a quick, coming into your home there in beautiful Switzerland. And I mean, I'm very committed to Jivamukti Yoga Bern, and like I'm really in their little tribe, and so I love also that you have that connection, and I also have that connection, and I hopefully we'll see each other this year or next year, but I'll definitely come and check out your classes as well. And I hope the listeners do too. And I'll let you know if I can get like a sort of fundraiser together for you, because I really love to do that.
That would be lovely.
Well, and to all the listeners, thank you so much for listening. Check out this incredible lady and support her and her amazing cause. It's all in the show notes, and you know the drill. Be good to yourself, be good to others, especially the animals. Thank you guys. Bye-bye. Cheers.